And we're live. Thank you, everybody. This is Crisis169, aka Mark. My shoes right here. My antenna for my TV is right there. Lost internet. Couple, like last week during that storm, I made it back pretty cool from work. Work was awesome. First day back from work. It was nice. I do appreciate you guys' thoughts and concerns about what's going on because you guys didn't hear from me. I had some messages asking me from Messenger if I had any problems. Check Messenger right now. Well, somebody asked me on Messenger when I was in a motel over at Coopertown, where my work was. Is it too late to pull a trigger on buying a graphics card? At the time, I messaged this person and said, I don't know for sure exactly. I need to do more research on it. Well, come to find out what hardware unboxing saying and hardware unbox and other YouTubers saying that it's pretty much past that point. I think we're past the point now. We're finding good deals. I have Amazon up here, and I wish I could show you guys on the screen what I'm having halfway doing that. Now, if I got a capture card away, I can do that. I would, but I don't have that right now, so it's my fault. Uh, right now, I have Amazon, I have Newegg, Best Buy, and Walmart up. The reason why I have them up is because I'm going to tell you the prices of these things. Going 5070 Ti, 5060 Ti, 16 gig, and 8 gig, and 5070 from different ones. For a Walmart 5060, they have 8 gigabyte cards for $299. 8 gigabyte cards $299. If you type in Ti 16 gig, um, it shows that, and these are online stuff. Online retail are different. There are 8 gigabyte cards. Uh, Here's one 16 gig for 559, 569. It's only two fans. So that really hit hard yet. The original price is $430. So it's a little markup, but not bad. Here's one Zotac one, two fan, uh, the 16 gigabyte for 559, Shadow X 559, and a lot of pre-builds are going to have. There's one here at Walmart.com is a ViperTech Liquid Cool PC Ryzen 7800F 5 hertz 5 gigahertz 5060 Ti 16 gig 16 gigabytes DDR5 and 1 terabyte SSD. Not a bad deal if you can get that kind of gaming rig. $3,000, $2,000. These are more hyper ones, hyper. I'm not saying hyper because you know Sagat from uh, Street Fighter. Hyper. Just saying it because it says hyper cyber. That could be something that's only sold at Walmart. I'm seeing a lot of hyper here on Walmart.com. Maybe they're a smaller brand, a pre-built company that maybe got an edge on Walmart because Walmart online is online sellers, and it could be something you probably type in hyper and go to that place. But Walmart.com, type it in, they'll bring up these things. So there's hyper stuff here. There's hyper cyber stuff for $3,000, $1,000 for not that. Yeah, $1,000 for colorful three fan. 5060 Ti 60 gig now, $1,000 is one of them. I bought mine from Newegg. So here's 5070 right now. There's one of them, 12 gig for $699, $669. And there's pre-built with them already in them. If one here, 5070 Ti is $1,200. That's what we'll talk to you in a minute here. Best Buy 5070 Ti's. There's 5060 Ti's, 16 gigabytes for $549. Best Buy, $549 for overclock versions of both of these. BestBuy.com for 5060 Ti, 16 gigabytes DR7. Two fans. There's a pre-built here. Asus ROG 6700 has 16 gigabyte 5060 Ti in it, and they go there. I'm thinking the 16 gigabyte 5060 will probably go up in price after the 5070 Ti goes out. And the reason why people are saying, well, 5060 Ti ain't selling well, That's why, the price ain't going up. No, the price ain't going right now because they still have more out than they need. I bought mine back in December 12th, 2025. I bought mine for 479. Taxes about 525, so it wasn't too bad for me. No, my goal was no more than $530. Like my one, because I had Christmas gifts to buy too as well, and it was mostly just easy stuff to get family this year because every other year we do easy stuff. We don't do expensive stuff every other year. That's good that we did because man, I needed a graphics card, and if I didn't get one, I wasn't going to get one, right? So that being said, um, that being said, um, 5060 Ti 16 gigs, not go up in price because then a lot of people are not at them right now. A lot of people are not buying them right now. All right, guys, this is peppermint oil. Pepper Sciences. This have worked great. Peppermint oil. And if you got friends who work in the pet factory, ask them why they don't have any sinus issues. Because stuff opens it up and you wouldn't believe. It's like a faucet for your nasal sinuses. But anyway, though, that's it. Now, enough of my sponsoring the Walmart, type of stuff here. So Walmart sponsor money. But anyway, though, I'm not gonna have that at all. But anyway, the reason why the 5060 Ti 16 gig is not being overpriced as much as the 5070 Ti is, it's simple. It's sophomore. It's not as sophomore as 5070 Ti 16 gig is. Yes, the 5070 Ti, 5070 are what Jay's 2 cents, Gamers Nexus call it. No, not a mediocre jump, but more of a lateral, a couple steps up lateral. It goes up a couple steps more. It doesn't go, it doesn't go like 3090, 4090, 5090 kind of thing. It doesn't go that insane type of jump. It goes it goes over one and maybe 1, 2, another jump. And that's fine. Some people, me. When I got my 5060 Ti, I looked at 3070s. I looked at 2060s and 3070s compared to that. Because that's all I had with a 3070 and 2060. What do you think I started? All right, guys, past my bedtime. I start with 2060, 6 gig, and got a 3070, 8 gig later on down the line. Okay, about a year or two later. I mean, 2 years later, probably. I got that, and I used the heck out of it. It's great graphics card, great card for games back day. Nowadays, it's kind of rough because 8 gigabytes will do you, but even 1080p, you're gonna have to lower settings by the games. And don't believe the hype. Well, 8 gigabytes is fine. No, it's not fine. It's doable, but you're gonna make a lot of sacrifice. You're gonna lower down quality settings, may turn on some DLSS, but turn down quality probably to medium. If you don't mind that, hey, go for it. If you want to play game on PC, you want to have that somewhat PC master race in the button, go for it. No, I ain't gonna ruin your day. I'm telling you, you try to increase that, if you go 1440p on that card, trying to keep me in settings, you probably going low settings. Some new games, Soccer 2 don't run. Soccer 2 runs like dog crap. It just doesn't run real well. That being said, though, but 5070 Ti is selling. It's a more practical card because it has more features people want. It's better overall, it's more power. I got 5060 Ti 16 gig because I wanted 16 gigabytes of memory, and I wanted a meaningful uplift that wasn't going to be breaking the bank. Now, if I had no Christmas gift to buy and I had had a lot of money I had, I would have bought probably a 5070 Ti. It was like $750, $800. That's $200 more I wanted to spend. Like I could do it, but that's sacrificing gifts. I can't do that for my family and friends because it's not fair. Now they don't do it. No, they'll do it to me. I ain't gonna do it to them. So that's how I am. Now it was like bonus similar time. Yeah, I probably would have got it another time. But I knew by how I'm telling you guys this for years and months now. The graphics cards prices are gonna keep going up. It ain't gonna be like it was yesteryears. 3070 was a stopgap type of situation because they had to they tried to get the 4070 off, and still 4070 just didn't sell. It was just a mediocre launch. 4060 Ti 16 gig was garbage compared to what I have right now. It's mediocre. So the 5060 Ti 16 gig not selling good right now because it's not wanted right now. When 5070s are gone, and people who are buying 5070 Ti are not guys who have 4070s or the 4070 Supers or TIs Supers. My father in his house has 4070 Ti Super, vastly more powerful than mine, obviously. But no, he came from a 2060, my old 2060. So for him, it was a bigger leap. It'd be leap for me too. I mean, now going from 3070, but for him, much quadruple leap. People have 1080s, 1070s, 1060s, 1030s. If you still have one of those, if the 5 of you still out there have one of those, going from a 1030 to a 5070 Ti is like, going in with a Geo Metro and coming out with Ferrari and only paying, a few extra coins. Which now it's not more expensive now, but at time, and the time graphic card was somewhat reasonably priced. $800, $750 was a good price for a card like that. It's probably one of the best cards that NVIDIA actually priced that was somewhat, cost to performance. It was almost there, price to performance. You got enough to make the price worth $800, $750, $800 worth it. But now it's going over $1,000. You can buy a 5080 for $1,000 and get even more performance. If you're going from a 1030 or 1080, if you're going from like a 3080 to a, whatever 3090, I'll probably stay where you're at. 3090 is still good, but not saying that it's not terrible. No, but so people who are upgrading are the ones who have old cards, who are old card outdated. They're being told by NVIDIA, hey, guess what? Your driver support for 1650s, C Supers, 1080 Ti's are coming to an end. Eventually, the 20 series is going to get the same axe. So those people are looking to as well. Some of the people, a few friends I know who have 2080 Ti's for about 6-7 years now, haven't upgraded until now. Reason being because the cards are getting better. They just, they got, a 10, they got from a 2080 Ti to a 5070 Ti, 5070. They're happy with the purchase they got. And because it costs, for them, the cost performance is good. Now, a friend of mine who bought a 3090 and a 4090, 5090, he buys the top of the class because that's how he is and how he acts. He's a PC enthusiast who buys laser grids. Yes, think a 64 or 128 gigabytes of DDR5. He paid a lot less than he's paying now for a 2.6 of 64 gigabytes. $1,100. That crap, Best Buy. No, thank you. He bought his stuff about 6 months ago, a year ago, and he is just banging it out like crazy. Okay. That being said, though, the reason why 5060 Ti is not selling right now is because 5070 Ti is still being sought after. Once those cards dry up and 5080s are out of price, you're going to see people running toward 5060 Ti 16 gigs if they haven't been bought up already. Because you're smart like I did, and like I am. I researched 30 because I only compared 3070 to 5060 Ti. I didn't in 2060. I didn't compare 5080 or 3080, 3090, 5070, 50 Ti. I didn't do that because I've never owned those cards. If I had a 4070 Super or Ti Super 16 gig, I would not be nowhere near. I don't want to buy this 16 gig. No, it would be a downgrade. To me, my upgrade to me was like 10 to 20 more frames. Oh, it's like a lot. But I know I get more VRAM. I get faster, speeds with DDR7. And now the bus is 128, but the bandwidth is 448. Now, check my ROMs. They're all 48 or there, so that's good. They didn't shortchange me on that. First thing I do, when I installed the card, turned it on, I checked the drives, make sure they're all there. But I would have had a fit they want. But good thing you do buy graphics card, check them. AMD, Intel, NVIDIA. Don't trust any ETA. Don't trust anyone. Check it in. Make sure you have them. That being said, though, is there really any type of reason to believe that cards are going to go up even more? Because they're going to go up, guys, eventually. And 5060 Ti 8 GB cards are going to sell. They're only going to sell when people who are upgrading from the lower cards have to buy it because they can't afford the 5060 Ti 16 gig, 5070 Ti 16 gig, 5080, 5090s. That's the only reason why they're going to buy those cards. They're not going to buy them because they want to have a mediocre upgrade or have to have VRAM replacations. Those guys now are dealing with VRAM limitations right now. Those guys right now are dealing with VRAM limitations right now. And even Amazon, 5070 Ti, $1499, pre-built $2399. This 12 GB one is actually $600. $600, $700 here. Not totally terrible. Not bad at all, to tell you the truth, though. For a card that you're getting 12 GB RAM. And it's still usable. Don't anybody tell you, well, 12 GB is not enough. It's enough. You just have to understand that the limitation. I need to go to the trash dump when it's open. It's been damn icy. I couldn't go to the trash dump last couple of weeks. So I got trash everywhere. I have a garage. It's almost full of garbage too. So yeah. Anyway, let's topic. Anyway, though, and but it's not talking about what I'm doing. But a lot of people don't understand that 12 GB VRAM is enough. For how long? And how long is 16 going to be enough? Just think about it. Yes, my graphics card is a lot weaker than 57. But you crank up settings to 4K, both cards will run. 5070 will run better in 4K. 50 Ti 16 gig will run better too. Good too. We have to turn DLSS on. I had a 4K friend, and I brought he bought a 5060 Ti 16 gig. He has 4K monitor, and I want to see what it will do. And it ran pretty well, gained pretty well, like 60, 75, 80 frames. But he turned it on ultra, and it was dog water. Turned it on high, it was decent, medium high settings. But he had big high settings on that was good for him. But that's something a lot of people don't understand. Now, if you're going from a 1030 to a newer card, you want the best you get your hands on. And I think 5060 Ti 16 gig is not selling fast right now. It's because the cards I mentioned are still in grass. You can still really get one. Might take months to get that 5070 Ti 5080 at $1,000 or more, but eventually you will. What happens if it goes up to $2,000 for 5070 Ti? Once they finally stop production, they probably won't stop the right now. Now, once they temporary halt production on 5060 Ti 16 gig and 5070 16 gig, 5070 Ti 16 gigs, once they halt production on those cards, how long do you think it's going to take for people to have the scalpers jack up prices to 300-400% more than it is right now? What, couple days, couple hours, weeks, a month, less than that? I'm telling you guys, it's going to be, there's going to be a bloodbath out there. The scalpers are going to be going crazy. Companies are going to be buying until it's right just to sell it at a high price. And a lot of you out there will buy it because you don't know better or you just don't understand. You'll say, buy now. And oh boy, what I want to, you're the boss of me. Well, now we ain't the boss of you, but now you're going to spend all that extra money to buy that card. Or keep playing with your 1080 Ti and hopefully maybe you find some ROMs on some drivers on Steam that'll work with it. So a lot of people, shuck and guy, well, I go buy because I have a 1080 Ti 11 gig. Now you have to because your driver support is going to be limited. So I don't know. Well, no, I don't know what to tell you guys. Myself, J2 Cents, we all been saying, strike when the iron's hot. The iron is cold, guys. It's no longer hot, not warm anymore, cold. If you haven't got one now, you're going to have to pay the price for it. The price is going to be a lot of money. And that's really a sad thing because a lot of you guys like me out there, you have your house or you have a good place to live and you have a budget and you're very good with that. But there's months like, I'd stay 2 nights in a motel, cost me $281. That depleted my my finances this month. Well, technically this month, I know I'm getting some money when I do my taxes for the year, but it depleted because it was a expense that I was not going to make. It was not an expense that was. Well, I'm gonna get a hotel room in January because work and stuff. No, that never happened because you don't. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a home. I know. Yeah, no, I'm gonna get a motel room in January. It cost me $300 2 nights. Because I'm not driving a Honda Civic that's worth $32,000 on ice. In Tennessee, where people can't drive and drive pavement when it's 75 and sunny, let alone when it's 4 degrees outside and people can't drive, like I said, it's 75 and sunny, and clear roads. I'm not going to risk that. And I drove home Monday night, and it was a nightmare. But last Monday. But that being said, though, it is understandable for people to be angry, to go, well, it's not fair that these cards are going up. You guys were told multiple times. You guys know in NVIDIA and AMD, especially NVIDIA, is going to increase prices of these cards. Every chance a gust of wind happens or something falls or breaks something, NVIDIA's graphics card can go right up. It's a foregone conclusion to know that NVIDIA and price hiking goes hand in hand. If you don't understand it now, why in the hell are you in a PC master race? Or why are you a PC gamer in the first place? You're wasting your time. Go content and it's obsolete by by 4 or 5 years, and go plug in an ecosystem and go yes master to your overlord when they charge you every month for stupid Xbox Game Pass $30 a month. Yes, I still buy it in $19.99 because it's still there. Like I said, once it goes away, I'm no longer buying it. And there's a game like to play, and I have friends online I still talk to occasionally. And some of my friends come over to PC. I talk to them on PC. Either I have their phone number, I call them, whatever. But that's just few and far between. But what I'm trying to say, guys, is this: 56 Ti, 57 Ti, 5070s are going up prices because these companies know NVIDIA they can charge for it. And you're going to see, guys, when the 5070 Ti 16 gig is no longer available in stores. You can't buy one reasonably. People are going to run towards 56 Ti just for 16 gigabytes. If you got a 1070 or a 1030 or a 1060, you're going to run towards the 5060 Ti 16 gig because it has 16 gigabytes of VRAM and a lot of power. It's a good card. I don't know. I enjoy mine tremendously. But you're going to run towards it because there's no other options left. And once that's gone, if you don't have one of those, you're going to be stuck with your 10 whatever, or you're going to try to find a 4070 card or 3070 card with somewhat uplifting capabilities to play on. And it's just in a point now where it's becoming dire. Now it's not red alert, it's more like yellow alert. Yellow like they're flashing on the ship. It's yellow alert. Being stand by, being danger coming. And then that means danger coming, kind of thing. But it doesn't mean that we're oh my God, we're terrible, we're bad. No, it just means that we need to understand that, guys, you guys have to get into situation at hand is that when myself and everybody else been saying to you, graphics card prices are going to go up, the RAM shortage is going to cause more problem with the DRAM. You guys need to buy these cards now, or at least try to get your hands on one. Do something. Right now, you guys didn't do anything. A lot didn't. While you sat around and didn't do anything, Now you don't have anything. Now you can go to NVIDIA website and download their stuff, and you have their subscription, and you can stream a 5080. You can do that. You can pay that kind of money a month. Hey, if that's your goal, go for it. If you want to have cloud gaming, go for it. I ain't gonna fault you. I ain't gonna care. It's your money. You do what you want with it. But everybody in the comment section, every comment are complaining about how graphics cards are expensive. Even my comments, and I'm tired of hearing it because we told you guys this stuff. Guys, no, I may not be a gamer's nexus where I travel or I'll talk to people in the in the business, or JC Center's contacts, or everybody else's contact. I don't have outsourced contacts, people, but I have common sense and a background in retail to understand that these things are going to cost money and are going up. Why? Because people want them. Supply and demand, folks. All the rest of these guys here can call their contacts all they want and bullshit all they want on TV. Oh, this is why it's going up. We made a mistake. I'm telling you guys one thing. Bullshit. It's not that hard to understand. The graphics cards are going up because supply is not meeting demand, or because the demand's too high and not enough supply. That is it. Period. End of discussion. But a lot of people, this grandiose thing. Well, it's because RAM prices and this thing. It's because supply and demand, and the RAM, yes, is one of them. But when you have one thing saying this, Titanic didn't sink because of one thing. Titanic sank because of multiple issues and multiple problems with that ship. The same ship is called PC Game. Okay? And that's right there what you need to understand. Okay? It's not about what we think it is, what we feel like it should be. Market is very dangerous right now because the AI bubble can burst any second. And once those bubbles burst, all these companies have trillions of dollars, billions of dollars, and this are gonna lose billions just like that. And they're come running back open arms. We're sorry, consumers, and we're gonna do this to them. And we should, because they left us to rot. They gave us overpriced stuff. That's good stuff, obviously. But they shouldn't sit there and treat us like a redhead stepchild. They go beat us in the closet, then they beat us and go throw us in the closet. That's something to me that pisses me off to no end. It's being treated like a redhead stepchild. They come in your house, take your wallet, they beat you up, and they throw you in a closet. Now, then they tell you, well, we only care about AI. Well, you get AI in my ass, okay? That's what the gaming community is saying now. You damn RAM producers, you get AI our assets. Because what's going to happen is when the bubble burst, you come running back to us. We're so sorry. Yeah, we're going to demand. Yeah, we're going to demand that RAM called $1,100 costs 2 cents now before we buy it. I think a boycott should happen eventually. I think a boycott should happen eventually. We should boycott a lot of these graphics card companies, RAM companies. Now, only buy what you need. If you want a 16 gigabyte, buy a 60 gigabyte. All you need. If you got 64 gigabyte, that's all you got. Don't buy anything else. Don't upgrade. Just leave it alone. I got 32 gigabytes DDR4, 4, 6, 8. Gigabytes. I'm good with mine. If you got to upgrade your 16 to 32 because you have to, but I think you'd be fine there with 16. If you're itching to burn your money, then go to a theme park or something. I don't know. Go to Dave and Buster's, have a good time, have fun. But don't let anybody tell you how you can't spend your money. But don't sit there and support people either. And I bought my graphics card because I needed a new one. But I also knew about the RAM shortages coming up. It'd be harder. Now, granted, we didn't know how hard it was going to be. And it's all on our fault for not informing you guys. Granted, I'm not in the know. I don't have the contacts at Newegg, or contacts at Asus, or contacts at Crucial, like a lot of these YouTubers have. Hell, they haven't been hell, and they did a piss poor job telling us all this crap anyway. How many contacts that Jay's Two Cents has, Gamers Nexus, Holler Unboxing, Digital Foundry, all the people they have contacts they have in these companies, and yet they couldn't tell us this is going to be any worse than it is right now. See, I'm ranting against these guys because these guys are in the know and they don't know donkey dick. Okay, I don't care what Gamer Nexus flies halfway across the country, the planet, you go talk to somebody in some factory making, a B550, a 570, or a T1000, or the hell they're creating over there. Because if you guys know this stuff, and I researched guys a lot of stuff, and I found a lot of stuff just by research and stuff about how prices are going up. And I told you guys this months ago, back in November and even in October, that prices are going to go up. I don't need some contact to tell me this stuff. I don't need some internal memo by some person working at some company who's pissed off at his life and job to tell me that, oh my God, graphics cards are going to go up because, NVIDIA wants to have more money. I know NVIDIA wants more money. They want to pick me up and shake me out every quarter and fall down in my pocket. Why? Because they're making money. Welcome to the world of being a damn consumer. We're consumers, folks. We buy stuff, they sell it. Pretty simple. Pretty cut and dry. You don't need to be Jake's Two Cents Gamer Nexus to figure this one out. You also need to break out. You also don't need to break out the clue board to figure out who did what where. Because we all know this RAM crisis is being done. It's like a jack up prices of stuff. No, I think no. Do I think it's fluffed up? Yes. I think all these prices are fluffed up for a reason. They can crank up more RAM just like that if they want to. They don't because they're afraid that if the bubble bursts, then they have too much RAM and not enough money coming in. That's exactly what I read about. What I read to you guys about almost like a month and a half ago. PC World, talking about how RAM manufacturers are afraid. Even Jay's Two Cents, Gamer Nexus, the rest of them talked about it too, saying how these RAM companies do not want to do that because then if they do that, they have too much RAM surplus sitting there, and they can't make money with RAM sitting there collecting dust on the showroom floor, and not going to people's PCs. See, if they have more people building gaming rigs like they have nowadays, back about a year ago, could have cranked out more production. It could have been a lot smoother transition into this AI crap. But not everybody was building gaming rigs a year ago. A lot of companies now are building gaming rigs around the world. Why? Because it's a profitable business, or was anyway. What happened if these companies were around a year ago? How much money they could make? But no, what they do is the bullshit way of life. They bullshit around, they F around, and they find out. And these companies are selling RAM at Best Buy for $1,100. Why? Because some moron's going to go in there and buy it. They always do. I bought a graphics card for $525, $430. I probably paid like $100 markup, a little less $100 markup. Is that great? No. You know what though? I had a limit. My budget was $530. If it was any higher than that, I wouldn't have bought it. Because I don't mind having a budget above $100 for certain things. I don't mind that. I can live with that because I balance my wallet pretty well. A lot of you guys probably don't have that kind of understanding, and I get that. That's why I'm not angry at you guys for buying stuff. It's your money. If you do what you want with it. No, I ain't fucking with Mountain Dew either. I'll have a little Mountain Dew here. But yeah, it just boggles my mind. People are out there criticizing these companies. You're criticizing the company because now you want to buy something. You can't because they're not making more because they don't want to have too much on the shelf. Welcome to capitalism. I don't know, guys. This is my video here, guys. Thank you for watching my video. My little rant. here, and like I did like a once a week rant. If you guys are new to my channel, go down below, subscribe, notification, ring that bell. See you guys later. Peace out, everybody. God bless you. Be safe. See you next time.